Hey Heights Church, welcome to the Summit Up Devo, and we are in the thread of all things new. And I am Pastor Justin. I'm here with my good friend Nicole, and you've seen her in the Summit Up series before, but we are doing a weekly interview, and she is our guest of honor being interviewed. And so Nicole, will you tell us, and just tell me, kind of a story about how God has brought renewal into your life?
I love this because I thought that my first renewal was when I was younger, 15. I was on fire for God, and He really came into my life, and I just started learning about Him, but I didn't quite know Him. I knew a lot of things about Him, but I didn't really know Him as like that relationship. And so as that started to develop, there was a lack of trust there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by the lack of trust? Can you unpack that a little bit for us?
Yeah, so it was a lot of me, you see those kids who are like, yeah, God, yes, I'm still there. But there was a lot of excitement, but without the complete surrender of trust to Him. So without that being there, there's a huge lack in my foundation of my journey with Christ.
Interesting. So one of the things you had mentioned was you have all this knowledge, but didn't have a relationship. Kind of that depth of relationship.
Yeah. You could look in the Bible and you could read it and you could get excited with your friends and you could be there for worship and feel all of it, but without that lack of trust, you're not completely in that relationship with God.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that's what they needed.
So as we were talking beforehand, you had mentioned to me a moment that things really took a significant turn, and it was this last season, wasn't it? Like through the whole COVID type stuff.
Right before COVID, right in there. I had been in a season of my life where I wasn't always at church, and I felt really lacking. I felt really just there wasn't that power in me. I was easy to anger and just really low and not even realizing like what is going on. And then I thought I graduated college, and something happened where they sent me a letter, and it was months after I'd graduated, and it said, you didn't actually graduate, basically.
Oh, no.
You need 6 units, which means like a class and a half or two.
That's like a whole other semester
at least. And so it really, I felt shame, I felt embarrassment because I didn't understand how this could happen. Then I just was like, you know what? Please, God, just take this. And it was the weirdest thing because I thought I'd done this before, but I didn't fully surrender to Him.
Interesting.
And I was just like, please just help me. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm giving it to you. I gotta tell you, right after that, it was just blessings. Like, I got a different job. I wasn't working in a service industry where I felt myself hardening. I got to come here and work here with these people. And then it made it so I could come to church. I could always had a Sunday morning I could be here. I didn't have to be at another job. School went perfectly, like the best classes ever that just blessed my life and actually helped with like babysitting. And then I'm because of COVID, like God let that so I could experience relationship with my niece and nephew, like just beautiful things. I got married. Like I had to really surrender to Him to feel His blessings. Yeah. And I'm in that place now where He's solidified. My foundation it's just been renewed because it's on the actual foundation now because I actually trust Him.
So what would you say that foundation is? Like because I heard you say it, but I want to hear you say it to them. Like what has the foundation changed for you that what it once was to what it is now?
So there's a difference between, knowing God and knowing the verses and knowing the stories.
So knowing about Him, like head knowledge.
Just like, oh yeah, I know everything about Him. But then there's actually knowing Him, getting to know someone, like that friendship that you get when you take time to trust people and share with people. And I think He really wanted to develop me with that sooner, but it took some time.
Well, and you also said a word in there that was really powerful because I can absolutely relate to it. It's the word surrender. Tell me a little bit about that. What was different about this time of surrender than in the past?
It's a really good question because I thought I surrendered in the past, but there's a little twinge of you that's like, okay, if this isn't real, I can get out of it.
Oh, wow.
I know, isn't that terrible?
So no, but it's like holding on to something saying, well, this is my fallback plan, right? Like, if this doesn't work, I still got this over
Which
here.
is embarrassing to admit, but it's true.
That's
how I felt.
I completely get that.
I thought, like, if this doesn't, if things don't work out, I can still be okay. But this is me saying, like, okay, I'm diving in that God is all or nothing. I am a Christian. That is going to be who I am from now on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And before it could have, I'm not sure, it could have faltered, but not as a Christian, just not as this relationship, not this way of knowing him, this real surrender.
The depth of it.
Yeah. And it's only going to grow.
So let me ask you this. If you were to challenge our people something out of your story, what would you challenge? How would you encourage them? What would you give them to do?
Definitely to reevaluate maybe how much you're giving to God. Seeing your relationship with him, do you know him or do you really know him? Do you know about him or do you know him as the Father who is in contact with you constantly? That feeling of surrender, that feeling of he's always with you. I would just challenge you to really, really see what your surrender is, like what the amount is. Are you giving all of it or just a little bit?
That's a great point. Church, we love you guys. Thanks so much for joining us on Summit Up. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.